So we're already at the track and warmed up today for what's going to be a really easy sprint session. We're doing pretty much 2 10s, 2 20s and 2 flies. What I'm going to do for a bit of curiosity, because I've been playing around with some new footwear for the past couple of weeks, is do every first rep that we do in the Nike Streakfly 2s, and then the second rep that I'm going to do is going to be in the Nike Spikes, the Victory 2s, which are in a rather fashionable mint green. So we're getting some data on that today on the free lap system. Hopefully some PBs, but I've been having a bit of a tumultuous week, so let's see how we go. So we've done the first 2 reps of the day, which is the 10s from the blocks. We're going to be moving on to 20s next, but the first 2 times that we got today were in the trainers, or the Streakflies. We got a 1.79, and in the Victory 2s we got a 1.78, which is good, fairly consistent. That's really what we're looking for in the session anyway. As I'm warming up through the session, the times might get a little bit quicker just because I'm getting more into the workout, so let's see. So I've done the reps in the Streakfly 2s and the Victory 2s, kind of as to be suspected with what I felt on the rep. Streakfly 2s, I got a 3:02. The split times were 1.79 and 1.24, which is good. That's a matched PB for me. The second rep in the Spikes, the Victory 2s, was a 1.81 and a 1.23. So what I felt on the first set, or the first rep in the trainers, was that I lost a little bit of traction and my wheels were slipping a little bit. I knew I'd have more grip in the spikes when I came to the second rep. I just lost my technique out of the blocks a little bit, which is reflected in the speed, albeit a minor difference of 0.02. So very small margin, but again, very close in the numbers, so good representation there. On the first rep of the 10-metre flies in the Streakfly 2s, actually changed it up a little bit as we were going through the session and did a 20-metre fly and got 2 lots of 10 metres within the same rep. That was a 2.22 seconds for the 20 metres and a perfect 1.11 breakdown for each 10-metre interval within that 20 metres. Again, felt a little bit slippy in the Streakfly 2s, but I have done a 1.04, which is a PB on a 10-metre fly in the Streakflies, albeit on a much sunnier and drier track, but we'll see how we go in the Spikes.
Outtakes.
Yeah. So that concludes the session and the comparison between the Streakfly 2s and the Nike Victory Spikes. Second rep on the 20-metre fly with the 2 individual 10s was a 2.17, so a 0.05 second difference. Split times again over the 2 10s. So on the first one we had 2 splits of 1.11, and the second one we had a split of 1.08 and 1.09, which again for the purpose of the rep is virtually identical. Conclusion on the second one for the difference between the spikes and the trainers, I felt like I had a bit more traction at the beginning of the rep to get the push at the beginning. Maybe that led to marginal acceleration improvement. What I have done in the Streakfly 2s on a previous week, 3 weeks ago, was a 1.04 on a 10-metre fly, which is a little bit better than what I've done today. So weather might be the biggest variable factor on your decision making, whether you're going to be choosing spikes or trainers for the track. The main reason why I chose spikes at the beginning of this whole training block that we started sprinting with about 18 months ago was for that exact reason. Funnily enough, I didn't feel like I had enough traction in the trainers, so I felt like spikes were needed to get the push and drive that I needed for coming down and doing some serious training. The results that we've got, I think, are a very fair reflection. I'm quite proud of myself today with what I've been able to achieve on each rep that we've done and maintain the consistency. So my conclusion on that is, if you're really serious about getting into the track and the running, you're definitely going to need a pair of spikes for that bite and dig into the track. If you want to get out here and experience some sprinting and maybe you're not able to get to a track, you can only do it on the road or a hill, then the Streakfly 2s are probably your best bet. They're the only trainers that I've seen on the market that truly reflect the geometry of a spike. A lot of the other trainers, in my opinion, don't do the same job.